ourselves go through in a long distance relationship. Another struggle that we may have in long distance relationship. I can't say it, but this is probably another struggle that we have in a long distance relationship. Hello, our beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. Lance and Dua here. And today we're gonna get real with you guys. We want to go into a real conversation about long distance relationships. For most of you who do not know us yet, Dua and I are in a long distance relationship. And we kind of want to get real with you guys right at the beginning. So we're just gonna talk about the struggles that we go through and see if you guys can relate. But before we get started, I didn't forget. I want you guys to go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys find us interesting and entertaining to watch. Let's get right into it. This is probably another struggle that we may have in long distance relationship. I can't say it, but this is probably another struggle that we have in a long distance relationship. We wrote down some questions and some things that came to thought.
I don't have questions.
Yeah, they're not questions, but some things that came to thought, we wrote it down. And when I say we, I mean she.
Yeah.
She came prepared.
It sounds like we're farting, but we're sitting on a leather
Yeah, I actually
chair.
farted. Yeah. But no. Let's go. Let's get into it.
So you're probably not expecting this one, but my first struggle is if you're not creative on FaceTime. I'm not talking about just, you know, just,
I don't know if I can say
just creative in general, then it gets really boring quick. Like we tried to play that, what is the ship game called?
Battleship.
Battleship.
People who are in relationships in general run out of things to talk about. Not only that, when 90% of your relationship is over the phone or FaceTime, you run out of things to talk about. And for the past few years, we've talked about everything from social issues, political issues, race, religion, to fairy tales, to movies, to songs, so one day we were just bored and we figured out how to find free online games. Yeah. Battleship came up and we decided to do that, but that got boring too because I kept losing and I'm very competitive.
Oh yeah,
so,
you did.
What's your second one? Or should I do my first one?
Yeah, do yours now.
I'm still thinking of my 5.
Or I can.
No, my first one, honestly, in a long distance relationship, is trust. That's a big one. When we first met, I had a hard time trusting her, and she probably had a hard time trusting me. Probably had good reason to. I don't know. I like to think of myself as an angel, but
it's always an issue. But I think it's more of an issue in a long distance relationship because you don't know the person that much. Yeah. So when you're in a normal relationship, you spend more time with the person. But when you're in a long distance relationship, you're like, you know, you don't really know the person fully. So it's even more difficult to trust them. Yeah,
and keep in mind, we met while I was on vacation overseas. She's currently living in Barcelona, and I was currently living in Orlando. So we didn't have, when we met overseas, we didn't have months to get to know each other. We literally had like 2 weeks, and everything else was over the phone. So that trust factor was a major for me, and it took me a long time until like yesterday. I'm just kidding.
Okay, my second struggle is money. So I feel like there's no balance for like money because either you have to keep buying flight tickets and see the person, or you're gonna save money and not see the person. So you're like, should I spend my money now on a flight ticket and go see that person, or am I gonna stay here and...
So basically she's saying 90% of the time we're broke because we visit each other so much. But we are rich in love.
Yes.
I guess that works.
Yeah.
So another thing that I have trouble with in a long distance relationship, this is number 2 for me, is time. She lives in Barcelona. I'm on the East Coast side of the States, and it's a 6-hour time difference. So I mean, we just struggle with when to find that time to talk, because when I'm waking up in the morning, it's pretty much like evening time for her. And it's challenging all in itself.
For me, it's difficult because I kind of changed my schedule around him. So his schedule kind of becomes my schedule. So I'm sleeping when I should be awake in Barcelona. And I'm awake during the night because I'm talking to you.
It's not my fault. She can't sleep anyway. She's fooling y'all. She doesn't sleep anyway, so it just so happens to work out that way.
The thing, yes, it is difficult for me to sleep, but you give me a reason to stay up. No, it's not.
Oh.
Okay, so my third one is arguing through texts. Like, there's so many times when you're short and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's mad.
Basically, don't start a conversation over text message, a very important one. We live in a day and age where FaceTime is a thing now, thank God. I mean, I grew up way back when, you know, we was pulling, yeah, I'm older, as you can tell, when we were pulling, you know, sleds through the cotton fields. I lost track of what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I don't know why you're talking about a sled. We have a new rule now that we try not to talk about important things through text. Yeah. Because we always misunderstand, like, you know, if he's being short, which happens a lot. Why are you
Another big factor for me is intimacy. Not just physical, but emotional intimacy as well. Most relationships have a lot of physical and emotional interaction. We don't necessarily get that. We have to wait 6 months or so before we can even see each other. But lately it's been about 3 months. Yeah, every time we see each other, it kind of just starts over again. In my opinion, that's a pro and a con, because when you don't have somebody, that emotion kind of builds up all over again, and then like it's like re-seeing that person for the first time.
Yeah.
Re-seeing isn't a word, but it is tonight.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's really difficult, especially when we're going through like difficult time. Whether it's like us or like I'm going through tough time, like I'm stressed out, or you know, just not to have you there.
Yeah.
Difficult.
And when it's winter time and, you know, it's get booed up season, and, you know, your boo's all the way overseas in a place where it's always summertime, and it's like, I'm looking for a boo, but can't find a boo. Where you at?
I'm at the beach.
Think about that. I'm cold, she's at the beach.
So my fourth one is kind of related to, do I say that? Mm-hmm. Related to the one we were just talking about.
We're still working on her English.
We're still working on my English. Mm-hmm. It's kind of the same one, but I was gonna say to miss out on like things that you do. If you get like good news and I want to hug you, or you know, something that happens in your life, that I want to be there for you.
Yeah, for the good and the bad times, we don't get the opportunity to just be like, oh, happy birthday. We just gotta.
We have to plan like, should we meet around the birthdays, or should we, you know? Our birthdays are also like close to each other, so we can.
So it's really cool to plan out things. We just plan big trips. So
yeah, that's why we're broke.
90% of the time. Long distance. Reason number 4. Getting to know each other's friends.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's the biggest.
Yes, so
that's the biggest struggle.
She hasn't been able to meet all of my friends. One of my closest friends, she just met a week ago in New York, because all of my friends live all over the world.
It's difficult that, you know, I know that he's like talking to them and I'm like, who is that? I just know the name, and it's like...
And it makes me feel bad sometimes, because it's like, I would love to introduce you to these people, but I don't even get to see them.
Yeah. My 5th and final struggle, I feel like is our biggest struggle. And that is that we can only stay 3 months in your country and 3 months in my country.
Yes.
So we're in a situation where I don't know what we can do. Like,
gotta put a ring on it. But
it's really difficult.
Yeah, our long distance situation isn't like, oh, my girlfriend lives in another state or another city. Like, she's from Iceland, I'm from America. So if she comes down here, she can only spend 3 months here. And the same thing with me over there. If we don't get married, we can't spend more than 3 months with each other.
Yeah. He came down for like 3 months last summer, and he had to leave after 3 months.
I did not want to.
Yeah, so I feel like that is our biggest struggle.
Yeah, it's a very big challenge, but another challenge we're willing to overcome. It keeps it spicy.
Yeah. It empties our bank account
90% of the time. If there's anybody out there that's in a long distance relationship, we kind of want you to open up about it with your partner, so then that way you can overcome some of those challenges as well. And if you
also let us know in the comments what struggles you're going through.
Yeah, definitely. We want to be able to connect with you and to be able to speak with you about it. I guarantee it, 9 times out of 10 we've gone through it and we've either overcome it or are working on overcoming it. So definitely hit us up in that comment section. Let us know what you think.
Just know it's not easy.
Nothing worth having is easy. So whether it's long distance, short distance, it doesn't matter. It's gonna be tough. But as long as you make that choice to find a partner that you're willing to go through it with and just go on through it.
Yeah.
Once again, hit us up below. Hit that like button. Subscribe.
Why do you always say that?
I think that's my thing now.
Oh, God.
Subscribe.
You sound like people who can't say S.
Subscribe. Subscribe to our channel and hit us up.